Good evening. You're watching TDM Talk Show. MASDAW, or Macau Association for Stray Dogs and Animal Welfare, was founded in 2014 with an aim to rescue stray animals in need of help. So far, MASDAW has more than 100 rescued dogs and cats. Their goal is to make Macau an animal-friendly city. However, these past few years have been a challenge to them. Let's hear more from the founder of MASDAW, Fátima Galvão. Good evening, Fátima. Thanks for coming to our show.
Good evening.
Okay, first of all, we're gonna discuss first, how did this come about? Like, how did you start this MASDAW, the association?
Since 1999, that I'm very aware of the animal situation in Macau. In 1999, my life changed when I rescued my first dog that lived with me for almost 18 years. So I changed his life, it changed my life. And since then, I really became more involved with the question of animal well-being in Macau. In December of 2013, I was having my Christmas holidays in Macau. And so I decided to start to do neutering and spaying campaigns, because for a long time I was already involved with taking care of stray animals. And I was using a Facebook page to share my work with all the community, and I started to receive a lot of financial support.
Positive response.
Yes, yes, but because even though we do the things with all our heart, we are never, how to say, protected against people that can doubt about our intentions. So, because with the Facebook page was impossible to open bank accounts, I decided to create an association, because like this we can have bank accounts that can only be moved by 2 people at least. And so our work, it's more transparent.
And how, by we, what does that mean? How many members do you guys have, and how many volunteers, like an estimated number?
Directly and daily involved in MASDAW work, we have 10 to 15 people. Since from the people rescuing, from the people helping with the website, from the people helping to take care of the animals, yes.
15,
yes.
And the volunteers as well?
Yes, we have. Beside that, we have volunteers that take daily care of stray communities, and when we have activities, we have more people involved.
And how many dogs? I'm so sorry.
No, and we are all volunteers. Everybody works.
How many dogs have you been rescued? An estimated number. How many dogs and cats have you been rescued? And how many are you guys housing at the moment? Just an estimated number.
Yes, okay. I believe that we've already sterilized males and females more than 250, and mostly females. Cats, we've helped probably around 100.
Around 100?
Yes, because we don't have a shelter, so we have some difficulty in terms of space, because we cannot support the terrible price of the rents. So, but we helped more than, let's say, more than 400 animals.
400 animals,
yes.
Since 2014?
Yes.
And how many animals are you housing at the moment?
We have around between 120 and 130, beside the ones that are directly under our care. We have animals in pet shops because we have no more space to put dogs, and I'm talking about dogs. We have from one Tibetan Mastiff to Yorkshire Terrier that has been abandoned inside a cage near those blue rubbish bins. So,
Okay, MASDAW needs caring people who can adopt or foster these animals. Do these adoptable animals have received the necessary care, such as veterinary exam? Were they neutered already? Heartworm tests and so on?
yes. Usually, before being given in adoption, the animals are treated, are vaccinated, depending on the age. But usually animals never get adopted younger than 3 months old, 2 to 3 months old. For example, when we act recently to rescue 24 dogs from IAM, and we had no space to put all the dogs, we asked help, and some members of the community came to help us. And one of the puppies got sick. It was observed by the vet, but it was incubating parvovirus, and that puppy got sick. So now still under the care of Anima, of MASDAW.
Of MASDAW.
Still under the care of MASDAW.
Okay. For those who are thinking of adopting, what are the things that they have to consider before adopting a dog or a cat? I mean, it takes commitment.
Yes. What we really hope from people adopting is that they are prepared to do a lifetime commitment, because we are not talking about t-shirts, shoes, bags. We are talking about lives. So first thing that we hope people to do is to consider if they are ready to do a lifetime commitment. Second, in Macau, it's really a drama because of the landlords and because of the laws that are really not protecting the tenants. People also need to consider if they are adopting an animal, and if in 2 or 3 years they need to move to a new house, if they are prepared to choose a house where the animals can go. Because sadly, sometimes we have animals returned because people need to change house, and the cheapest rent it's from a house that now the landlord doesn't want to have pets there, and we have pets returned. So,
okay, do you have a specific requirement in terms of the house itself? Like, do you need to have? Do they need to have like? I don't know, like the door should be like this, or they have to?
What we say is that animals adopted from MASDAW cannot be caged.
Cannot be caged. Okay.
Because for us, to cage animals, it's a kind of animal abuse and cruelty. In Macau and in most of Asian countries, usually when people gets a dog, together with the dog comes a cage. And because it's very convenient to have the animal inside the cage, because the animal will pee inside the cage. Sadly, we have situations of dogs that are put inside the cage and stay inside the cage for more than 1 year.
And they get depressed.
No, they don't only get depressed, but they get a lot of health issues, namely atrophia of the members. We had a dog that has been adopted that, because of being in a cage, he has back and front legs totally atrophiated, the spinal column with deformations. He is incontinent, all because he lived inside the cage since he went to the home of his abuser. It's not an owner, it's an abuser.
But do you have a post-adoption support? Do you provide post-adoption support?
Yes, actually, As I'm connected with animal welfare since 1999, as I've told you, I still receiving photos and messages from people that adopted some dogs. From my home, like 6, 7, 10 years ago. And we always say to the adopters, if you have any problem, please come back to us. Don't abandon the animal.
Yeah, that leads to the next question, because there are certain situations that, for example, it's an expat, right? And they have to go back to their home country. They have to go back to, for say, in the UK, it's mostly the UK or Australia. They leave their pets, they bring them back to the shelter, or they're going to start their own family, or they realize that they're not really ready for the commitment. What's your advice for these people?
Usually, the experience that we have with most of the expats is that they take their animals back with them. But for example, now we are facing a problem. My helper is going back to Philippines for good in June. In September, she went in holidays and she took one dog with her. Now she was planning to take another dog with her. Philippine Airlines changed the planes coming to Macau, and this year they don't have planes with the cabin prepared to transport animals. So people willing to take animals from Macau to Philippines,
it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Okay.
For animal lovers, for expat people, Macau, it's the end of the world. Even with the bridge, nowadays, it's not possible to send the dogs directly to the airport. So we hope that the government can really soon start to assure that dogs from Macau can go directly to the Hong Kong airport. Why? Because many owners pay more to send their animals from Macau to Hong Kong airport than they pay to send them from Hong Kong to their destination countries. And I'm talking about United States, I'm talking about Germany.
Okay.
We have this experience with these two countries. It has been more expensive to send the dogs to Hong Kong than to send them from Hong Kong to the final destination.
Right.
And this situation needs to change.
Speaking of which, Macau has passed the animal protection law in 2016. But you said it yourself, you met a lot of challenges. Do you think the government should impose heavier penalties for abusers?
Definitely, because now most of the penalties are for animal lovers. Because, for example, if someone is walking the dog in the street without the tag, can be fined, when it's very easy for the staff of IAM to check if the dog is legal and registered and vaccinated or not. There's some people, for example, taking their dogs to the street. If the dog pees in the soil near a tree, they are fined because the person didn't clean the soil. How to clean the soil? With bleach. These situations are really ridiculous. And, for example, MASDAW, during the month of March, middle of March, beginning of April, we rescued 24 dogs from IAM. They were not going to be put for adoption. Simply, they were going to be killed. So we had no other solution, as it happens with many other animal lovers from associations or private. We had to say, even though the dogs were not ours, we had to assume that the dogs were ours in order to save their life. And to save those 24 animals, we had to pay in fines and fees more than 62,000 patacas. If I go to IAM to abandon one dog, 5 dogs, I only need to pay 1,000 patacas per dog. So really, the law was not created to help animals. It's a law to control the animals and not to make the life of animal lovers easier.
And you said that the current situation at the IAM is not really good.
No, no. It's not really good because IACM has been renovated a few years ago. By that time, lots of animals were killed because the place was under renovation. And so it's like the facade has been cleaned, but the back is terrible. If we go inside IAM, at the end of the public area, there's an area in an upper level on the left side. And if there was really a strong will to improve the quality and to give chance to more animals to be saved, that left area could have been improved. And no, it's terrible. It's unbelievable, the conditions there. Now they don't have dogs there, they have cats. But that the walls are full of fungus, there's no light. Only some puppies are kept there in small cages. So that it's like a concentration camp.
That's right. Okay. And what is the best way of controlling this? How can we save? How can we help, like the public? How can we help these dogs and cats?
You can help by not buying dogs. It's necessary a change of mentality because, of course, everybody has the right to choose. But many people only want to have purebred dogs, and many of those purebred dogs end up in IAM. Why? Because they don't get informed about the characteristics of the breeds, and because the puppies are so funny. They are really gorgeous.
Or they're just really
cute. They are like toys.
And they just get it.
Yes, but for example, if you go to IAM and you look on the right side to the cages on the right side, those cages are used mainly for the dogs that bite people. Okay. You don't see many stray dogs there. Most of the dogs you see there are purebred dogs because or they are not properly trained by the owners, or because they have behavior issues, because many dogs that are sold in Macau are dogs coming from mainland China or from Hong Kong or from Macau breeders. There's no control at all.
Right.
There's no control at all.
So how do we fix the gaping hole in the bottom? Because finding a home for one dog may save one life, but sterilizing one dog will save hundreds, if not thousands, of dogs' lives. Like there's a study that one unspayed female cat and her offspring can lead to 370,000 kittens a year.
Yes.
That's a really large number. What can we do about it? Like, how can we help, just to stop this?
You can adopt stray dogs. You can open your heart to stray dogs and to stray cats. Not only willing to have purebred animals, because mixed breed animals, mongrels, are so lovable as purebred dogs. And the government could help a lot by urging the implementation of laws to control the pet shops. Because if countries like Netherlands nowadays don't have stray dogs, and we are talking about countries, we are not talking about a territory with 34 or 36 square kilometers. As people used to say, where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way.
But in Macau, there's no will. Animals are really in the bottom of the chain. So we have a lot of animal association nowadays, and curiously, many of those associations were created by the time the law was approved or after the approval of the law, because many animal lovers knew that this law was not created to protect animals. So nowadays we struggle with the fact that all the associations are overloaded, and the government really doesn't have a policy that aims to protect animals. The order is to kill. We know that the order is to kill because we have been informed that after rescuing those 24 animals, and sadly we can't rescue more because even the pet shops are full of animals from associations that have no space to put those animals, we know that the order was continue to catch and kill. Don't pay attention to the noise that the associations are doing. And so while the spirit is this one, Macau will not be an example in this area, and we could be.
Okay. Okay, and those who want to adopt can go directly to, can check directly the website of MASDAW, and they can go directly to your office.
Yes, we have many dogs needing families, and they will be wonderful family animals. So please help us, help other associations, go to IAM. IAM is full of dogs that are going to be killed, because when they catch, one of the reasons that we spent already more than 125,000 patacas to treat the animals that we rescued from IAM in March is because when they go to IAM, they are not treated because they are to be killed in the first 7 working days. They are not treated. Many puppies are caught without their mothers, even if they are being breastfeeded. They are put in cages together with adult dogs. Among the dogs that we rescued, we have dogs with parvovirus, dogs with coronavirus. We were so lucky that we had no dogs with distemper. We have dogs with different types of tick fever, Babesia, Babesia gibsoni, with Ehrlichia. Now, there's a kind of tick fever, Babesia canis, that was not existing in Macau, and now there are dogs with Babesia canis in Macau, which means that dogs coming from other countries or maybe from mainland China brought this disease with them. And so we have the dogs. Most of those dogs were in a terrible condition. So many of them still under treatment, and it's not fair. It's not fair that to save dogs, to save lives, we need to spend so much money, because in the beginning, when they were caught, they were not provided basic care.
So adopt, do not buy, and support the different associations such as MASDAW.
Yes, and pressure the government to change the attitude towards animals.
I know this is a really broad topic, but we're really running out of time, and I hope we can invite you again here sometime soon. Thank you so much, Fátima.
Thank you.
Join us again next week for another episode of TDM Talk Show. Good night.